Federation made blindside blocks illegal with some exceptions a few years back, and we are still seeing this flagged inconsistently from crew to crew, state to state. Here are some blindside block plays to consider. In the first play, the quarterback scrambles and is approaching the sideline when number 12 peels back and blocks number 64 from the blind side. On our next play during the interception return, number 13 of the defense blocks number 26 of the offense from the blind side at the goal line on the return for a touchdown. Our third play has the wideout at the top of the screen coming back towards the ball and blocking the defender from the blind side away from the ball. In our fourth play, number 61 comes back and blocks number 1 from the blind side. In our fifth play, after the catch and run, number 3 blocks number 17 from the blind side. Number 17 is injured on the play. In our sixth play, number 60 pursues number 70 from the blind side as the quarterback scrambles right. And in our final play, the quarterback scrambles left when number 20 comes back and blocks defender number 17 from the blind side. Some of these blocks were flagged, but most were not.
On our first play here, number 12 comes back with a blindside block. It looks to be pretty violent contact, open field. How do we miss a play like this?
I think we kind of go to the ball a lot of times as officials. It takes us to the next level when we can, as an official, when we can expand our vision. Especially in a crew of 7. Somebody should be looking at the second level. But even in a crew of 5, you see the umpire at the bottom of the screen looking across. What else is the umpire looking at? This is one of those blocks where we would hope that either the umpire, the back judge, or in a crew of 7, the side judge would pick up. I can understand why the head linesman might miss this because he's got action at the point of attack. The runner is about to be threatened with the tackle. I still don't understand why on these types of blocks we're missing, because this is a safety foul, and this is one where we have to have our radar antennas up, especially on those people that are coming back against the grain.
I agree with you. We've got a triangle of officials who should have a view of this block here. Definitely that umpire is in great position here. Might not have been his key, but it is his zone right now, and he needs to be in on that play. Tim, we're into play 2 here. We have an interception return. A lot of open field blocks are going to be thrown, people coming from different directions. We have to be prepared for something like this.
So we talk about the open field like on our first play. In our second play, when we have a return of any sort, that's where we really need to have our antennas up for illegal blindside blocks. Like you said, everybody's changing direction. So everybody's coming from a different angle. And now we have people blocking that normally aren't used to blocking, and they're just trying to get a body on somebody and may not even realize that you have the contact from the blind side.
An official that's going to be brought into this that's not going to be normally in blindside blocks is the referee. Reverse mechanics, he's become the back judge on this play, and he has to be prepared and have his antenna up for this.
Well, and this block is a point of attack block, and I know some people may say that it's marginal in the gray area, but I don't think so. It's clearly from the side. You can see the defender, the former offensive player is now the defender. His vision is at the runner returning the ball, and now you've got this contact.
The key thing here is when we talk about is he in his field of vision, when the person being blocked is in the middle of that hit from the side, you've got a blindside block because they are not looking to their left in this situation. They're looking to the right.
On our next play, this is actually a backside block called by the head linesman at the top of the screen on the receiver coming back and making contact with the defensive back, even though the ball is going the other way. Now, when it comes to safety fouls, we tend to, it doesn't matter if it's a point of attack or not because it's a safety foul. But where this block comes into question is one of the exceptions with the Federation on an illegal blindside block is that if you extend your arms and the contact is not forcible, then they don't want it called an illegal blindside block. This is a gray area block because the offensive player does extend his arms, but this is from the blind side, and it does borderline on forcible because you see the defender go flying and doesn't see the block coming. On a play like this, how do you think we should rule?
Well, first of all, we can see the arm extension here. I'm not sure the head linesman who makes the call here can see arm extension. So this is gray area for him, whether there's arm extension or not. I like that he has a flag down. I like he stayed with his flag. And I like the fact that this is forcible contact. This player could not see this block coming whatsoever. We're trying to get this block out of the game.
And we can make an argument, or other people may make an argument, that that's a technically legal block because he extends the arms. But I'm saying, when in doubt, gray area type stuff, when it comes to safety and blocks like this that are a potential safety hazard, I have no problem with this being flagged.
No, I'd support the flag also. And our next play, we've got a punt situation. Definitely going to have open field, high-speed contact, collisions. What do we got here in terms of this guy peeling back and taking this defender out?
Well, we talked about interception returns earlier. And now, when we have everybody spread out on either a kickoff return or a punt return like this play, that's another high risk for blindside block because we've got people moving in different directions. You see on this play, the receiving team player clearly comes back. He's clearly coming against the grain. And I'll go with the judgment on the field judge saying that he has this as an illegal blindside block because you can see the player does not see the block coming, and it's a clear peel back blindside block.
I have kudos for the deep wing on the offside getting this call. And I really would have liked to seen a back judge have a flag down on this play. But again, kudos, that's great backside cleanup by this deep wing official. On this play here, the pass is caught more to the far side. Now it's cutting back to the near side. Is that a red flag to have our antennas up for potential blindside block?
Well, we've got players in the open field. This is similar to a punt return or a interception return or kickoff. Everybody's spread out. Now in this block, we have a crew of 5, and we see that our line judge is on this block and calls this as an illegal blindside block, and the player is injured. I mean, do you think this is forcible contact? This is one of those gray area blocks because he kind of puts his butt into him and doesn't do a Superman type, decleating type block that we normally see on a blindside block.
I think it's enough with contact to call and defend the blindside block on.
I wouldn't have a problem if they pass on this because you can see the approach from the offensive player. He realizes he's in a precarious situation and kind of tries to turn his body. And yes, there is forcible contact, and when in doubt, we want to go with the safety foul. It almost looks like he throws his butt into him.
I don't see him setting a pick. I see him moving with contact, and that's why I'd have a flag.
So on our next play with the quarterback scrambling, we do have a call for an illegal blindside block by the referee on this block that's actually behind the runner, behind the quarterback. But it does look like from the blind side, and I can understand why maybe our line judge doesn't get this because it's screened for him with the runner between him and the block. But kudos to the referee for cleaning this up on the backside and catching this block.
I agree. That's a good get by the referee. The deep wing here has an open view into this area, so it would be good if we had a flag coming in from the deep wing on this. The umpire maybe also has a look in it because he's coming across looking at point of attack blocks.
And this contact is an illegal blindside block.
No question about it. And again, we've got the defender who's being blocked between the runner to his right and the blocker hitting him from his left.
And going back to our final play, with the quarterback scrambling, once again, we have a runner out in open field. And this is near the end of the play where you've got the back who would come out of the backfield now also coming back to the play to make a block. And this is a point of attack block right in front of the runner. To be honest, we should have a lot of eyes on this block, and this one isn't flagged.
No, we've got a short wing here that's coming up and should see this happen. We've got a back judge has nothing but open field to that block situation. So we needed to have a flag on this.
See, I can give the line judge a pass because he may not know how the block started. But this is point of attack blocking, and there are no other engagements going on the field at this time. So somebody has to go to that engagement.
I would hope that when a crew, whether it's your crew, my crew, this crew, we look at a play like this that happened in our game, I hope people are raising their hands, taking ownership, saying, hey, I'm ball hawking and I can't do that anymore. I've got to focus on point of attack blocks. I've got to focus on my key, then my zone, and then what's point of attack.
But we do agree that this block would classify as an illegal blindside block.
No question about it. This is a blindside block.
Here is a good example of a blindside block that is not illegal, when number 2 sets more along the lines of a basketball pick to free the runner.
We've seen several plays where we've had blindside blocks, some called, not called. Open field, forcible contact. Now we have a play situation here, open field, runner changes directions. Why is this not a blindside block?
Well, like we said, it's a basketball pick type of a play. The contact is not forcible. So it's from the blind side, but we don't have forcible contact. This offensive player is basically just getting in the way of the defensive player and making an effective block. And it's important that we didn't have a flag on this, which is great because like we've talked about earlier on a lot of our other plays, we had some flags and we didn't have it called. We want to be consistent across a state or across the country and how we make this call, and we don't want this called.
Well, the key thing to it too is, was it not called because they saw it, or was it not called because they were lucky? I'm hoping it's because this deep wing that we see in the picture here to the far right, I hope it's because he saw it and said, that's not forcible contact, that's a legal play.